to winning isn't easy. Why you have to review your application for disability insurance coverage before you file your disability insurance claim. Now, if you have an individual disability insurance policy, you filled out an application, and you probably don't remember what you put on it. You might have done it yourself. You might have done it with the help of an agent. But what you put on that individual disability application for insurance can make or break your claim. So before you stop work and apply for your benefits, one of the key documents you need to get is that copy of that application. Why? Well, let me tell you the story of one of my clients and why his failure to get a copy of the application for disability insurance coverage that he completed doomed his claim. And it caused the disability carrier to claim he was committing fraud. The application for disability insurance coverage asks lots of questions, including the nature of your occupation and your past medical history. Unfortunately, he lied about his past medical history. He denied prior problems with his neck, when in fact, he had been diagnosed with a herniated disc, had undergone a cervical MRI. He even denied treatment. And guess what? He had gotten treatment. So when he applied for his disability insurance coverage, based on what he put on that application, the disability insurance company offered him an insurance policy. They made an underwriting decision to offer him a policy and set the premium based on what he put on that disability insurance coverage application. Years go by, he has problems with his neck to the point where surgery is recommended. He has difficulty doing procedures in the office. And so he says, I want to apply for my disability benefits. He did not get a copy of his disability insurance coverage application. He didn't recall what he put on that application, or if he did recall, he certainly didn't tell us about the truth. Now, it got worse because his claim for disability benefits was based on that cervical disc herniation that had been observed earlier in the MRI, and the claim was fraudulent. Okay. So what did the disability carrier do? The first thing the carrier did was review a copy of his application for disability insurance coverage. The next thing they did was they got a copy of his medical records and reviewed them cover to cover, which noted a prior history of cervical issues. And then they looked at his disability claim and said, look, you're now claiming that you're disabled as a result of a herniated disc that existed when you applied for disability insurance coverage, and you lied about it. And we would never have written this policy had you told us the truth. In fact, we've got the old medical records that document this cervical problem. And at this point, the game was over. The carrier rescinded the policy because of the material misrepresentation and fraud. They refunded years of premiums, and they weren't done. They hired an attorney to file what's called a motion to rescind and claimed that the policyholder committed fraud on the application for coverage and in the disability claim. They wanted a judge to determine there was fraud, and they were going to refer the case to the Department of Insurance for investigation of fraud and a criminal referral. Clearly, you don't want to be in that position, do you? So what do you have to do before you file your disability claim? If you have an individual disability insurance policy, you want to contact your agent or the insurance company. You want to get a copy of your application for coverage. And once you get it, you want to review every question and your answers. Are those answers right? Are they accurate? Are they complete? If not, it's time to call an experienced ERISA disability attorney to help you. Now, your agent might have completed that application and you might not have reviewed it before the agent submitted it. If the agent did that based on what you told them or they paraphrased your answers, there can be material mistakes on that application. And if the agent is still in business, the attorney can contact that agent to discuss the application, how it was prepared, how crucial questions were answered. Sometimes the agent remembers, sometimes they don't, and sometimes they don't tell the truth. Sometimes the agent has died and finding out that information can be impossible. If possible, you want to try to correct those errors before you file your claim. Some aren't going to be correctable, like the misrepresentations my former client made. So you want to obviously review that application for individual disability insurance coverage for errors. And if there are mistakes, and there are significant mistakes, the attorney is going to tell you you don't have a claim, or you may have a claim, but it might not be for the disabling condition that you forgot to mention on your application. So in this case, if this client had now become disabled as a result of MS, his misrepresentations would not necessarily have resulted in a rescission of the policy and a refund of the premiums. So you can see that what you put on that application can help you, or it can hurt you, or it can even destroy a claim. So please tell the truth. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Winning Isn't Easy. Like our page, leave a review, share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to this podcast, please. That way, every time a new episode comes out, you'll be notified. I hope you tune in to next week's episode of Winning Isn't Easy. Thanks.